Now, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is one of those games that I come back to every now and again. I won't play it for a couple of months, and I'll come back and I'll play it basically non-stop the entire time I have some free time, and then I'll stop again for a few months, and then I'll come back and play it again non-stop. And then on my most recent play session, I discovered the modding side of Breakpoint. You see, the thing is, Ubisoft don't want to make this game mod friendly, so modding this game is a bit of a task. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I followed multiple written video tutorials on the internet, and for me, just a lot of stuff didn't work. I had to find workarounds or just do things slightly differently to how they said. The game just straight up wouldn't launch for the first hour or two that I tried to mod it. And this is like, we're talking the basics, the basic mods, not anything too advanced. But eventually, you know, it all comes together, it all somehow works and clicks, and it's pretty awesome when it does. So for me personally, this is one of those small but mighty, if you even want to call it a mod, because I guess technically it's not a specific mod, but this is called Reshade Presets. So you can basically go on, find how you want your game to look from a bunch of presets on Vortex or whatever, and you can go in and you can make your game look however you want to do it. Now you do that using this bit of software here called Reshade. Now there are loads of default stuff, so this is how the game kind of looks standard, and you can go in and you can add, you know, your own effects if you want to make the game look however you want to look, right? You can add, ooh, that's a bit weird. You can add color curves and FXSA and HDR and all that kind of fun stuff, and really make your game look how you want it to look. For me personally, I like to play the game, so I choose one of the presets, and the one I use is this one here, Survivor. And it's not a massive change, as you can see. Like, you literally saw a back-to-back there of the two. So this is Survivor, and this is the stock Ghost Recon like look, right? Not a huge difference, but for me it's enough that, you know, it adds that little bit of depth to it, and makes it kind of look a bit more realistic if that's what you want to use. Now, even on top of these presets, if you wanted to add a Technicolor effect, or you wanted to add a tone map or a tint or sepia, or I mean, you name it, you can really add kind of whatever you want to do and tweak this really to how you want it to look. And people have made hundreds of different presets, so I urge you to go out and have a look and see what really works for you.
Wish I could get my hands on the rich bastard's stuff. Folks be talking about some shit out here. Choppers and an info team or something. Ah!
Now, for me, one of the coolest features that I've seen introduced in a mod is this one right here. Now, it's not the boat, it's not the water, it's what you're about to see when I get out of this boat, because it doesn't work when you're driving stuff, or at least off the bat. So there's a bit of a gunfight going on up here. Before we intervene, let's switch the mod on, and we do that by Control-Shift-0. This is a feature, not a fault. We'll zoom in, we'll zoom out, and boom. We are into Ghost Recon first-person mode. Now that is pretty unbelievable, and it, you know, works pretty well for the most part. Like, there aren't a huge amount of bugs. Obviously, being a mod, it's never going to be perfect, right? But man, it's pretty impressive. You see, it's not perfect. It's, you know, a little bit weird in places. It does look quite funky, and boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm getting engrossed by the game instead of playing the game, but you can see this is what the mod essentially does, and it just changes the game. It really does. I mean, first person has been in Ghost Recon since the OG days. And here we are playing it again as if it never left. Okay, maybe it feels like it did leave it in some way, but, you know. Like that. You know, it's not perfect, but it's cool. And it's definitely a massive... It is a game changer, really. You know, it changes the way you play the game. It changes the way you approach situations. And, you know, it's just cool. Hop in and drive, and this is, you know... Obviously, the game's not made for it, right? You can see it's not perfect. But it's just cool. Like, it's a stupid, dumb thing that, for me... just makes the game that little bit more immersive. And if you don't like it, you don't have to play it. Oh, didn't even see that there.
On the hostiles. Enemies hit.
Drop to commander.
Oh boy, they're everywhere.
Hostile down. He's down.
It is a lot harder to play, I would say, in third person. Or first person, I should say, not first. But, I mean, what you do is zoom in, and it fixes the body bug at least. These are the good guys, we won't shoot at them. But yeah, just a small little quality of life improvement. Now, another cool thing that you can add to the game is weapon mods. Now, these seem to be predominantly aesthetic mods rather than like performance stuff, but you can get new scopes and that kind of stuff. So when you go into Gunsmith, unfortunately, the gun doesn't show up. It shows up as the original one in game, or at least it does for me. Your mileage might vary. But as you can see here, this is one of the modded weapons. This one here is another modded weapon. And they're just cool. You know, they're just cool. So on top of all of this, there are loads of, just loads and loads of stuff you can do to tweak. So right here, right now, I have this Cryer airframe mod, which adds all this cool little kit and stuff to that. And you can tweak that basically through a number of ways. So the way this mod works is that you have to go in and tweak what is going on with your character's face. So let me remember how to do this. You click body, you click facial details, and then I change between burn, scar, and that might actually be it. So if I choose Scar A, you can see the helmet is ever so slightly different. It has this different pack on it and all this kind of stuff. So not a huge change, but definitely one of those little, like, not quality, I don't want to call it quality of life, but it's like just a cool little tweak, essentially. You can see in here, somewhere there should be some new gloves. So there's some mechanics wear gloves. Again, not a huge tweak, but something that's like tiny and makes the game just feel a little bit more realistic, because, you know, that's supposedly what the real life soldier guys are using. And then, you know, the list is endless of what you can add. For me, I don't add a whole lot of stuff because I don't like my game to look super different from how the stock aesthetic is. You know, I like having the majority of this stuff look how it looks. And I, for me, don't feel the need to have completely decked out characters in full military wear because I don't know enough about that world to know everything. So this is how my guy looks, and I think that's kind of the aesthetic I go for, maybe. And on the topic of while we're in the screen, one of the other tiny little mods here is this sling mod for the gun. You know, that's just obviously looks a little bit funky. It's just floating there because there's no real life sling, but it's just a, you know, slightly different aesthetic mod to the game that makes it just that little bit more realistic, because this is how guns are really going to hang in real life, as opposed to you know, randomly mounting to the side of a backpack. So tiny little quality of life mods that just make the game feel perhaps that little bit more realistic.
Way to go, Ghost Lead.
How about you just stay alert? Yeah, I'm clear on my side. No sign of ghosts in my sector. This is some shit. We've been out here forever. Still nothing. You ever get a really annoying song stuck in your head? We've been out here forever. We're not gonna find shit. I don't wanna find shit. I got 3 weeks left, and I'm out of here. Come on, just keep looking.
No news. Shoot. I wish the ghosts would show their face.
Rock and roll.
So overall, you know, I've really been enjoying Breakpoint again. Modding has introduced this whole other layer of just how cool this game can be. And I mean, you look at this bit of gameplay here. There's not really many games that look this amazing, that are this old, that, you know, still hold up. It just looks pretty sweet, I have to say. And, you know, I was a skeptic when Breakpoint first came out, or Wildlands first came out even. I was a skeptic of, you know, the open world Ghost Recon games. I was a big fan of the original story-based linear games. But, you know, I'm happy to admit I was wrong. This game is pretty cool. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what other stuff comes out. But until then, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next time.